Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing amazing today. In this video, we're diving into the latest updates about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. You don't want to miss this. So make sure to stay tuned till the end and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The studio lights dimmed just slightly that morning, not enough for the audience to notice at first, but enough for Kelly Ripa to feel it. After more than 3 decades in front of cameras, decades of laughter, live mishaps, unscripted tears, and the strange intimacy that comes from speaking to millions while sitting on a single couch, she knew this day was different. The teleprompter scrolled as usual. The mugs were placed just right. The band played its cheerful intro. Yet beneath it all, a quiet gravity settled in her chest. Kelly Ripa had mastered the art of smiling through anything. Morning television demanded it. Whether it was breaking celebrity news, a cooking segment gone wrong, or navigating cultural shifts in real time, she had always shown up with warmth and wit. But today, the smile carried weight. Today was about Mark. For years, viewers had known Mark Consuelos not just as Kelly's husband, but as her partner in life, resilience, and love. Their story had unfolded in parallel with Kelly's career, woven into anecdotes, shared glances, and the kind of honest banter that made audiences feel like part of the family. What the cameras hadn't shown, what Kelly now felt ready to acknowledge, was how much of her strength came from him and how deeply life had changed them both. The rumors had started weeks earlier. Entertainment blogs whispered about big announcements and unexpected exits. Fans speculated wildly. Some feared a contract dispute. Others thought it was just another phase, another headline that would quietly fade. But Kelly knew the truth was far more personal and far more painful than anyone imagined. When the cameras went live, she began the show as she always had, with humor. A joke about the weather. A playful comment about her co-host. The audience laughed, unaware that each laugh landed like a farewell note she would soon tuck away. Halfway through the hour, she paused. She inhaled slowly, the way you do before stepping into cold water. "I've always believed," she said, her voice steady but softer than usual, "that when you invite people into your mornings, you owe them honesty." The studio grew quiet. Even the van sensed it. Kelly spoke about gratitude first, about the viewers who grew up with her, who watched her stumble into motherhood, who saw her haircuts change with the decades. She talked about the producers, the crew, the invisible hands that made live television feel effortless. Then, gently, she shifted. "And then there's Mark," she said. The name alone changed everything. She spoke of their early days, 2 young actors chasing dreams in New York, sharing tiny apartments and even 10-year paychecks. She spoke of ambition, how both of them wanted success, but never at the cost of family. And she spoke of time, the one thing television never gives back. Mark had always supported her career, never threatened by her spotlight, never resentful of the hours she spent under studio lights. But life, as it often does, had introduced a crossroads. A health scare, private, frightening, and sobering, had forced them to confront the fragile math of time and priorities. Suddenly, mornings mattered less than moments. Ratings mattered less than presence. For the first time, Kelly admitted, her eyes glistening, "I realized that the thing I thought would always be there might not be." She didn't say the word goodbye right away. Instead, she spoke about choosing love not as a feeling, but as an action. Choosing to show up when it's inconvenient. Choosing to step away from something extraordinary for someone irreplaceable. "This show has been my home," she said, "but Mark is my life." The audience rose to its feet, applause echoing through the studio, not loud and celebratory, but reverent, as if honoring a sacred decision. Viewers at home felt it too. Social media erupted, not with anger, but with empathy. Messages poured in from women who had faced similar choices, from couples who understood what it meant to realign dreams. Kelly didn't frame her departure as an ending. She framed it as a return, to mornings without makeup chairs, to coffee shared without countdown clocks, to doctor's appointments attended hand in hand instead of alone. She spoke of walking beside Mark not as a supportive spouse in the background, but as an equal partner in the present. "I don't know what comes next," she confessed. "And for someone like me, that's terrifying. But it's also honest. And honesty is something this show taught me." When the final segment ended, the credits rolled differently. Slower. The camera lingered. Kelly stood, hugged her co-host, and turned once more toward the audience. She placed her hand over her heart, not a wave, not a performance, just a quiet acknowledgement of shared history. Off camera, backstage, the reality of it all finally caught up to her. Mark was waiting. No audience. No lights. Just him. He didn't say anything at first. He didn't need to. He pulled her into an embrace that felt like a promise fulfilled. "You didn't have to," he whispered. "I wanted to," she replied. In the days that followed, headlines framed her choice as brave and shocking. Analysts debated what morning television would look like without her. Fans speculated about future projects, podcasts, memoirs. Kelly read none of it. Instead, she sat at the kitchen table, listening to Mark talk about ordinary things, the way the sun hit the backyard, the taste of the coffee, the relief of having her there. That, she realized, was the point. Leading television didn't mean disappearing. It meant reappearing where it mattered most. Kelly Ripa had spent her career being present for strangers, offering joy, relatability, and comfort through a screen. Now, she was choosing to offer those same things to the person who had quietly given her everything. Heartbreaking, yes, but also deeply human. Because sometimes the most powerful farewell isn't spoken under bright lights. It's lived quietly in love. In the weeks after her final broadcast, Kelly began to understand how deeply television had shaped her internal rhythm. She still woke before dawn, her body trained by years of live airtime. For a moment, instinct urged her toward the familiar, scripts, studios, the comforting chaos of production meetings. But instead, she stayed still. She listened to the house breathe. She listened to Mark. They began building new rituals, ones that felt almost foreign at first. Morning walks without destination. Appointments attended together, not out of obligation but devotion. Conversations that were uninterrupted, unhurried, and at times difficult. The kind of conversations that only happen when there is finally room for them. Kelly discovered that stepping away from television didn't silence her voice. It sharpened it. Without an audience, she spoke more honestly. Without applause, she felt more certain. Mark, too, changed. The quiet reassurance of her presence gave him strength during moments when uncertainty crept in. Illness, even when managed, has a way of shrinking the world. Kelly helped expand it again, not with grand gestures, but with consistency. A hand held, a shared laugh. A reminder that life was still happening, still worth savoring. Fans continued to write letters. Some thanked her for years of companionship through screens. Others thanked her for leaving. They saw themselves in her choice, in the courage to pause ambition for love, to redefine success not by longevity or legacy, but by presence. Kelly kept those letters in a drawer, reading them slowly, like chapters of a shared story. She didn't rule out returning someday. Creativity still lived in her bones. But as she didn't return, it would be on her terms, shaped by the clarity she earned through sacrifice. For now, this chapter was enough. Kelly Ripa didn't walk away from television in defeat. She walked away whole, and in choosing Mark, she chose something rarer than fame, time, tenderness, and the quiet triumph of being exactly where she was needed most. Stay tuned for all the updates about Kelly Ripa. We are the first to publish all the information about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, so stay with us to get all the latest updates. And stay tuned to our Kelly and Mark report for all updates.